Hey Bears fans, gather around because we have a lot to talk about today regarding the latest developments with our Chicago Bears as they head into the postseason. The excitement is palpable, and there's plenty to unpack, from player health updates to strategic implications as the team looks to make a deep playoff run. Ben Johnson has shared some thoughts recently, and while some of his comments were brief, they give us hints about what's coming and what we might expect in the weeks ahead. One of the most interesting points he touched on, almost casually, was Kyler Gordon. Now, he wasn't directly asked about Gordon, but he brought him up while talking broadly about team health, which immediately caught the attention of fans everywhere. He mentioned that there is hope to have Gordon back for the playoffs. That little nugget alone is enough to spark conversations, because if Kyler Gordon can return, it could be a significant boost for the Bears' defensive lineup, even if it's just a partial role. The reality, though, is that expectations have to be tempered. Kyler's season has been riddled with soft tissue injuries, which has kept him sidelined for long stretches. He missed the first 4 weeks due to a hamstring issue, then another 5 weeks dealing with calf and groin injuries, and now he's slated to miss the final 4 games of the regular season because of that groin injury he re-injured. But the key is that he is eligible to return off injured reserve for the playoffs, and if he is cleared medically, the Bears have every reason to get him back on the field. At this stage, it's a situation where there's very little to lose and a lot to potentially gain. You don't necessarily build the entire game plan around him, but having him available even in a limited capacity could be invaluable. He represents an added weapon, icing on the cake if you will, and anything he can contribute in a playoff scenario would be a massive advantage for the team. Coupled with Gardner-Johnson's situation, which we'll touch on shortly, having Gordon available adds even more depth and security to the defensive rotation. If he plays and sustains another injury, well, there's always the offseason to heal, but having him on the field gives the Bears more options and more flexibility to compete at the highest level when it matters most. Speaking of Gardner-Johnson, his status remains somewhat uncertain. There's been little clarity from the media about his injury following a recent play where he seemed to experience discomfort. Early reports suggest that he did not tear his ACL, which is reassuring because typically, by this point, such a severe injury would already have been confirmed via MRI. But the exact nature of the injury remains unclear. It might be a hyperextension, a sprain, or even something less severe like a bone bruise. The incident occurred when his cleat got caught in the turf, a non-contact type of play that complicates the diagnosis. The crucial question now is whether he can return in time for the postseason. With only 2 regular season games left, the team may decide to hold him out and evaluate him further for playoff readiness. Having either Kyler Gordon or Gardner-Johnson available in the postseason could significantly improve the Bears' defensive performance, particularly when considering the drop-off to players like Nick McLeod or potential adjustments at the nickel position with Tyreek Stevenson. Every piece of depth counts, especially in the high-stakes environment of playoff football, and any contributions from these players could swing the momentum in Chicago's favor. Ben Johnson also emphasized the broader context of the postseason journey. After weeks of perseverance, the Bears have officially reached the playoffs, but the team's goals remain high. Winning the division is the immediate target, ensuring at least one home playoff game, with the ultimate ambition of securing the number 1 seed still very much in play. Despite achieving 10 wins, which in itself is commendable given the team's recent history, the mindset within the organization remains ambitious. 11 wins out of 13 games demonstrate the team's strength, but there's a clear desire to push further and not settle for partial accomplishments. Every game from here on out carries meaning, whether it's clinching the division or positioning for the top seed, and the team understands the significance of each play. The remaining schedule, while challenging, presents opportunities to solidify the Bears' standing and prepare for the postseason with confidence. Strategic decisions, particularly regarding player availability and rotations, will be critical as the team navigates the final stretch of the season. Turning to individual player performances, Montez Sweat's recent improvement has been noteworthy. While he has experienced a slow start and some inconsistency earlier in the season, the past several weeks have shown him playing at a higher level, particularly since the team's bye week. He has recorded 8.5 sacks over the last 11 games, demonstrating an ability to impact opposing quarterbacks more consistently than before. While he may not yet be dominant in every aspect, his flashes of high-level play are encouraging, particularly on a defensive line where depth and one-on-one matchups can heavily influence overall effectiveness. His presence allows the Bears to apply pressure, disrupt opposing offenses, and contribute to the team's larger defensive strategy. The challenge remains sustaining that performance and finding ways to be impactful even when double-teamed or facing complex blocking schemes. Sweat's ability to continue developing as a disruptive force will be pivotal if the Bears hope to make a deep playoff run. Similarly, Austin Booker's emergence as a pass rusher has added another layer to the defensive scheme. Recent games have showcased his ability to reach the quarterback and make critical plays, even though some of those plays have resulted in penalties. The nuances of defensive play, particularly when tackling quarterbacks in motion or reacting to sudden changes, often create situations where penalties are unavoidable, yet the underlying performance still signals improvement. Booker has shown that he can pressure quarterbacks effectively, and this adds much-needed depth to the pass rush. If both Sweat and Booker continue to perform at a high level, the Bears' defensive front could become a more formidable obstacle for opposing offenses, providing confidence as the team enters high-stakes playoff scenarios. There's also been debate around certain hits and the resulting penalties, such as Austin Booker's recent contact with Jordan Love. While opinions differ, it highlights the difficulty defensive players face in adjusting to evolving rules and maintaining aggressive play without drawing flags. These situations are complex, and while penalties are part of the game, the underlying talent and ability to reach the quarterback remain crucial. Evaluating performance goes beyond individual plays and includes the broader impact on the defensive strategy, team morale, and readiness for high-pressure situations. The balance between playing aggressively and adhering to rules is delicate. Yet players like Booker and Sweat show that the Bears have emerging talents capable of influencing games positively, even as the learning curve continues. The overall picture for the Bears as they approach the playoffs is one of cautious optimism. Key players' health, strategic deployment, and individual performance improvements all converge to shape potential outcomes. Depth, adaptability, and consistent execution will define whether the Bears can not only compete but excel in the postseason. Every development, whether it's a player returning from injury, a breakout performance on the defensive line, or tactical adjustments, contributes to the overall readiness of the team. Fans can be excited, but the emphasis remains on preparation, execution, and seizing opportunities as they arise. The season has built momentum, and now the focus shifts to leveraging that momentum, ensuring that when playoff time arrives, the Bears are not just present, but competitive and resilient in every aspect of the game. As we continue breaking down the Bears' situation heading into the postseason, another player who deserves attention is the way the defensive line as a whole has been performing. The pressure on opposing quarterbacks has been inconsistent this season, and while individual efforts like those from Montez Sweat and Austin Booker stand out, the team still faces challenges in creating consistent disruption. The defensive line is not yet at a level where it can dominate every game, but improvements in technique, awareness, and timing have shown that there is potential for growth. The coaching staff has emphasized that this group needs to gel and understand how to work together under high-pressure scenarios, and that cohesion will be critical in the playoffs. A single misstep or missed assignment can change the outcome of a game at this stage of competition. So every adjustment and every successful engagement in the trenches matters tremendously. Looking at player development, one of the most fascinating aspects has been the progression of younger athletes and players who were initially considered secondary options. Their growth over the season demonstrates not only their individual commitment, but also the coaching staff's ability to cultivate talent and adapt to injuries and challenges. Even players who are not household names have shown that they can step up when given opportunities, which creates more flexibility for the team. Depth on the roster is essential in a playoff push, and having reliable backups who can perform at a high level is often the difference between an early exit and a deep run. The Bears' ability to integrate these players seamlessly into game plans and to maintain performance levels despite rotation changes or injuries will play a key role in their postseason trajectory. Special attention must also be given to the strategic approach that Ben Johnson has outlined. The playoff mindset is more than just reaching the postseason. It's about positioning the team to maximize advantages at every stage. Winning the division remains a priority, not only to secure a home game, but also to ensure momentum and confidence. Home field advantage in the playoffs can be pivotal, especially in closely contested matchups, and the Bears are aware of that reality. Their high standards and ambition indicate that they are not content with simply qualifying. They intend to compete for the top seed if possible. Every practice, every game plan, and every in-game adjustment reflects that mentality. This level of focus is what separates teams that make noise in the postseason from those that falter under pressure, and the Bears appear committed to maintaining that intensity. Injuries remain a central concern, particularly for players like Kyler Gordon and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. While hope exists for their return, it's essential to consider the broader implications for roster management and in-game strategy. Coaches must weigh the risks of rushing players back against the potential benefits of their contributions. With the playoffs looming, even a limited role for these athletes can make a substantial difference. But careful management is necessary to avoid further setbacks. The ability to adapt and adjust the game plan based on player availability will be crucial in maximizing the team's performance and ensuring that no advantage is wasted. The emergence of key contributors has also reshaped the Bears' defensive identity. Montez Sweat's consistent pressure, combined with Austin Booker's developing role, has added layers to the defense that were not fully realized at the start of the season. While they may not dominate every play, their ability to create disruption, force hurried decisions from quarterbacks, and impact the opposing offense changes the dynamics of each game. These individual performances also inspire confidence in teammates and create opportunities for complementary players to make plays. The ripple effect of strong individual contributions cannot be overstated, especially in high-stakes scenarios where momentum swings can dictate outcomes. Evaluating the team's recent performance, it becomes clear that there are both challenges and opportunities ahead. The Bears' record, 11 wins out of 13 games, demonstrates that they are capable of competing at a high level, but postseason football introduces a new level of intensity. Every decision, from player rotations to defensive schemes, will be scrutinized, and execution must be nearly flawless. The importance of situational awareness, preparation, and the ability to adapt mid-game cannot be overstated. The team's resilience, combined with strategic planning, will be decisive in determining how far they can go in the playoffs. Leadership on and off the field is another factor that will influence the Bears' postseason success. Veterans and experienced players play a crucial role in mentoring younger teammates, maintaining focus, and ensuring that the team operates as a cohesive unit. Leadership extends beyond physical performance. It encompasses communication, preparation, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. Players who can maintain composure and make smart decisions in critical moments will provide a stabilizing influence that can carry the team through tense playoff situations. The Bears' culture and internal dynamics suggest that leadership is valued and nurtured, which could give them an edge when games are decided by small margins. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most shocking moves of the season, whispers from inside the locker room suggest that Chicago Bears general manager Ryan Poles has made a decisive and controversial choice, benching a starter following a heated altercation behind closed doors. According to sources close to the team, tensions erupted after a disagreement escalated into a confrontation that left both players and staff stunned. While the details remain murky, it appears Poles was not willing to tolerate what he deemed a breach of team discipline. "He's out of here," one insider allegedly said, quoting Poles' reaction, though the GM himself has remained characteristically tight-lipped in public statements. Poles, known for his meticulous eye for talent and strategic maneuvering during his tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs, is no stranger to making bold, sometimes polarizing decisions. His previous experience as the Chiefs' executive director of player personnel and his 13 years climbing the ranks in Kansas City have earned him a reputation for decisiveness, but also for a no-nonsense approach when it comes to locker room conduct. Those who follow the Bears closely are now speculating about whether this incident could mark a turning point in the season, both for team chemistry and on-field performance. The fallout from such internal conflicts often extends far beyond the immediate players involved. Rumors circulating suggest that some teammates are unsettled, debating whether Poles' move is a statement meant to reinforce authority or a reactionary decision driven by emotion. Analysts are already questioning the potential ripple effects. Could this shake the locker room cohesion? Will it signal a stricter regime under Poles, where personal disagreements are met with swift, public consequences? Meanwhile, the league itself watches quietly. In today's NFL, where media narratives can escalate in hours, every action and reaction is magnified. A benching under such circumstances isn't just a roster decision. It's a message. Observers point out that Poles' decisive move could either solidify his leadership or spark an internal debate that continues for weeks. As speculation grows, one thing is clear. The Bears' locker room is under intense scrutiny, and fans are eager to see if Poles' gamble will pay off or backfire. In a sport where discipline, talent, and personalities collide, this incident is poised to remain a hot topic until clarity emerges, or until the next unexpected drama unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.